With Vince McMahon now gone, is WWE attempting to bring back Sasha Banks and Naomi to the company? We'll discuss this in this WWE news story. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of WWE. So let's talk about Sasha Banks and Naomi. And is WWE attempting to bring back the two people they absolutely slandered after they walked out of WWE prior or during a Monday Night Raw, depending on who you believe. So, could Vince McMahon's retirement pave the way for Sasha Banks and Naomi to return to the WWE? According to Dave Meltzer, WWE, under the leadership of Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H, does have plans to reconcile with the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Quote, "It's kind of up in the air. I mean, they're gone," Meltzer said on Thursday's Sports Illustrated Media podcast. "The last I heard was that there would be attempts made to reconcile, especially with Vince gone. So, it's up in the air. I don't think there's anything definite just yet." Now, Banks and Naomi, of course, have been off WWE television since they infamously walked out on the May 16 WWE Monday Night Raw episode. According to several reports, both women were having expiring contracts, or the contracts were set to expire prior to their walkout, while Naomi was negotiating a new contract shortly before her WWE exit. Banks' contract is set to expire sometime later this year. Now, earlier this month, WWE sent out a survey asking fan opinion on its current crop of talent. To the surprise of many, the names of Banks and Naomi were listed in the survey, despite reports that both women have been removed from the company's internal roster. Now, Banks is going to be making her first non-WWE public appearance at the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, C2E2, next weekend. She's charging or commanding an asking price of $30,000 per appearance, which a lot of you would say that's a lot of money. But by all accounts, promoters and convention hosters are more than willing to pay that because they believe that they'd get more than that back when it comes to a return on investment for Sasha Banks. Meanwhile, Naomi seemingly made a reference to her falling out with WWE when she wrote, quote, "Anything that costs you your piece is too expensive," on a social media post earlier this month. So is WWE attempting to reconcile with Banks and Naomi? My opinion, I think they'll make an attempt. I think that this is the best chance they've got of getting either back. I think with Vince McMahon at the helm, it was never going to happen. That bridge had been burnt. I mean, Naomi was actively negotiating a new deal, so I think maybe she'd be open to it. Sasha Banks, I don't know. I really don't know. The way that they've been treated, the ball's certainly in their court. Now, by all accounts, it's an odd one because, again, I think that, again, Vince McMahon's retirement, resignation, whatever you want to call it, does open up that possibility. Would I be shocked to see him back? I mean, I guess not at this point, no, really, because with Vince gone, anything is possible. We don't know how radical any of these changes are or aren't going to be. And maybe Triple H, who of course does have a very strong relationship, certainly with Sasha Banks, I don't know as much with Naomi, but certainly with Sasha Banks. Of course, he was instrumental in her WWE career, going back to the days in NXT and the women's revolution, whatever you want to call it, main eventing pay-per-views, main eventing NXT takeover events. That was hand in hand with Triple H. He really spearheaded that movement in WWE. So you would think if there's anyone that can rebuild that relationship between WWE and Sasha Banks and Naomi being part of that, it would be Triple H. It's just a case of how much has this bridge been burnt? And realistically, how far along in the process are they to their WWE exits? We don't know. There have been so many conflicting reports about Banks has been released, she hasn't been released, her contract was going to expire anyway. Banks may have already been released, or Banks may no longer have a WWE contract, or her contract set to expire in the coming weeks. So either way, if WWE wants to reconcile with her and Naomi, who again, her contract's set to expire too, she might be coming into the dying days of her contract as well. And again, if that is the case, then WWE, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, they'd have to move very, very, very quickly. And maybe there just isn't enough time. Maybe Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to say, you know what, actually, we're still going to let our contracts expire. We don't hate WWE as much now. Vince is gone. And John Laurinaitis is gone as well. And again, John Laurinaitis was an issue in all of this as well. But maybe just because Vince and Johnny Ace are gone doesn't mean the entire problem is resolved. I saw CM Punk say something similar about the entire WWE culture. The proof will always be in the pudding to see if there's going to be any real change in WWE, and maybe that's what Sasha Banks and Naomi are waiting for. But nevertheless, anything's possible in the world of WWE. But what are your thoughts? Could we see Sasha Banks and Naomi return to WWE now that Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan are in charge? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling News 365, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.